Hi, it's another Friday afternoon, and it's still a weird Friday afternoon, but this weird Friday afternoon is becoming normal. So, welcome to Trinity. We will have worship this coming Sunday, as we have the last couple of weeks, with far reduced numbers. We only have a couple of people with assigned roles planning to be here on Sunday. The rest of you, I hope, will find us online. First, though, I want to say that this afternoon we have a social hour. It's for obvious reasons, bring your own beverage affair. Bring a cup of tea if you like and join us this Friday afternoon. It's a Zoom meeting. You should have had information for that in the email that Jan sends out every weekend. She sent it out yesterday this week to get it out ahead of time a little bit. So if you're not on that list for whatever reason, again, I ask you to call Jan, send an email to the office and let us know. We'll be thrilled even to add you to our list. But as for Sunday, we'll have our regular gatherings, obviously in very different ways. We'll have our forum at 9 a.m. this Sunday. Again, there are some things I want to be getting back on the schedule in a more routine way, and we're just not there yet, but we'll work on that. This Sunday will be a chance just to check in again some more, talk about what's new with the coronavirus, the governor's order early this week, and how we're beginning to think about Holy Week, which is just a week away now, Palm Sunday, a week from Sunday. And then worship at 10 o'clock. Two ways to do it. Last week we tried YouTube and failed. That was all on our end. I think I know what I did wrong last Sunday. So I'm hopeful that you can stream that live on Sunday. Again, a link to the very particular video itself will be provided in about 5 minutes before 10. I'll go live so you can begin to settle in. If it doesn't work on your end, it's not you, it's all us, and I will apologize in advance for that. But we're learning things as we go, baby steps all the way. Facebook will also be live. If you found it last week, you should be able to find it this week. I know to set the camera up at the right angle, so that'll be a pleasant experience, I hope, from the beginning. The Facebook feed went pretty well last Sunday. There were some folks who had a hard time finding it, but a lot of you did find it, and that was very gratifying. If you do find it, I suggest you start a watch party. And I don't know exactly what you're looking for, but when that live stream comes on, when you're there, I think there's a button you click somewhere and you say, start a watch party. And that makes it more easy for other people to find it as well. And so maybe we can have a really full congregation. Last Sunday, it was kind of interesting. I had people from the church I served in Missouri join us, and that was wonderful to see their names pop up on the screen. A lot of folks that I lived with, worked with, served in Illinois. I think some folks from Medford, and then of course a lot of you here from Trinity. Also had some clergy colleagues sign in, and so it's a very strange and in some ways kind of wonderful experience. Hope you'll join us again this Sunday, either on YouTube or on Facebook. And I might suggest that the bulletin is available online. We made that part of the email that we sent out as an attachment. So the bulletin is available, but you really don't need the bulletin for much. What you need really is a prayer book. And so if you have a prayer book at hand, I suggest you get it out on Sunday, dust it off if you need to. We'll start with a Rite Two liturgy. We'll be doing just straight prayer book, Rite Two liturgies while we're in this new place. The Liturgy of the Word starts on page 355. Prayers of the People this Sunday will follow Form 4. That's on page 388. And then when you Eucharistic Prayer C, that's page 369. So if you have those prayer book pages marked, 355 to start, Prayers of the People, take a break from the regular liturgy, go to 388 and then come back, and then Eucharistic Prayer C, page 369 when it's time. So that's that. Other things are continuing. For all that's different, we're still working on continuing things. Thursdays at Trinity concludes this coming Thursday. We had a smaller group last night, I should say, but it was a good group, a good engaging conversation, I think. And I hope those of you who have been reading along will join us. We'll read chapter 7 through to the end this coming week and discuss that on Thursday. Again, a Zoom link is provided. I think at the first of the week, I'll ask Jan to send out an email outlining what's coming up the week ahead so that we can begin to create some sense of what the new normal is for us, and not have you overwhelmed with a very, very long email. But we're learning as we go. The observation I make is that last week we really were scrambling, I think, every day just to catch up with the day. And at the end of it, not feeling like we had. It begins to feel a little bit to me different this week in that it begins to feel like I can think now maybe almost a day ahead. And it doesn't feel comfortable by any means yet, but it begins to feel like maybe we're catching up with ourselves a little bit. And we'd better, because Holy Week, as I said, is just a week from Sunday. I have some notions about what that is going to have to look like for us here. I think we have a schedule outlined. Jan and I have been working on the newsletter a little bit. That's going to go out sometime next week. The newsletter for April, it will have more information about our services for Holy Week, starting with Palm Sunday. So look for that. Maybe I'll even have a bit more to say again at the forum this coming Sunday at 9 o'clock. Again, that's a Zoom meeting. So understand the differences. We're all learning on this. Zoom meetings are good for conversation, and so that's why the forum does that. YouTube and/or Facebook are good for just sort of pushing information out or sharing an experience out, and so that's why we're using that for some other things. So that's that. I will say that I've been gratified by some of your responses to one another. Some of you have joined the Facebook group that we've been pushing this last week. I think we had 5 people a week ago, and last I knew we were up to 45. A lot more folks I hope we can bring in on that, but it's helping a little bit. I think there's been some fun sometimes and some interesting conversations, some sharing, and some learnings going out that way. So continue to look for that as a way to connect. We invited some prayers in a post that I added yesterday, maybe the day before, and then some of you are starting to send prayers in to our new prayer email account. So I'll remind you that that's Trinity Bend Prayers, all one word, trinitybendprayers@gmail.com. If you send those in by 8 o'clock, we'll certainly make sure we include those prayer concerns. In the meantime, we have a number of prayer concerns already in hand. I'll underline just one of them because it's turned pretty critical. Marie Gibson sent us word that her daughter-in-law's parents, Phyllis and Eddie, have been sick and diagnosed with coronavirus-like symptoms. They were pending tests, I think, last I knew, but they were concerned. Her daughter-in-law's mother, Phyllis, has taken a turn for the worse. She's now on a respirator in ICU wherever they live, and I don't recall if I've heard, but they're not in town. But Phyllis, if you could offer some special prayers for Phyllis, for her husband Eddie, for the whole family. I know Marie appreciates our care, our concern, our prayers, and it seems like that may be about as much as some of us can do for each other right now. So let's do what we can. Other prayer concerns, of course, a number of folks are remembering our first responders, and we used to think in terms of fire and police, and they're certainly out there, but we also have just about anybody in healthcare these days. They're also first responders, and ask your prayers for them, for safety, for peace amidst the storm, I think is how Debbie Welch put it in the prayer request she sent you. And there are others. I remember Barbara and I went to the grocery store yesterday, and the clerks working in the grocery stores, they're on the front lines in their own way, and are essential for us in these difficult times. So prayers for all those who are out serving in public in those ways that must feel a bit threatening, a bit scary. I thank you all. I look forward to seeing you this coming Sunday. Tune in and pray for all of us as we try to make this technology work. I'm actually hopeful that this will work better this weekend and that you will all join us.